now. Okay, I'm wondering what was the hold up. Hey everyone, I'm Tammy Reese here with your girl Ndure. It's Women's History Month. We are here to empower, inspire, educate, and just uplift everyone who's watching. Ndure is a dope music artist. She's also a media professional, and I'm just so excited to have her here. Ndure, how are you doing today?
I am doing wonderfully, especially now that I'm online with you. I miss you so much.
I miss you
For real,
too.
for real.
I miss you
Yes,
too.
yes.
I miss you too. I miss you too. And tell us about yourself for those who don't know. What you do in the media field, music industry. You're a businesswoman. You have a fragrance
Oh,
line. You do so much, and I don't want to say it all for you, but please tell the people what you do.
okay. Basically, I'm an entrepreneur, singer, author, actress, and songwriter. I've been singing ever since I was 13. I've been writing songs ever since I was 10. I have a very, very passion, a very uh, amountable of passion for music. Um, that's where it started from. And then I branched off into other things as far as being an entrepreneur and so on and so forth with the clothing line and the fragrance. Being a musician though and a singer, it also allowed me to venture off into the acting world because they always are you always see movies or movie production teams that's always looking for artists either for music to enter into their soundtracks or possibly have lines or acting roles. And so that's how I was able to go into that platform as far as movies is concerned. And then with me already being a songwriter, that allowed me to become an author. I have 2 published books out. And then I'm like, well, I'm building a brand. I wanted my own fragrance. I studied for 3 years to do that. And I developed my fragrance line, which is Ndure, New York. And then this past December 12th, 2020, in honor of my mother's birthday, I started my At Peace clothing line. And as we go along with the interview, I'll be able to tell you in detail the meanings of every project that and that I have engulfed in. So, but yes,
I'm so proud of
all within
you.
one.
I'm so
That's the
proud of
things
you.
that I have going on right now.
What
Thank
inspired
you
you
so
to
much.
get into the industries that you're in? How did the roots begin? How did it all start? Your beginning background of it. What inspired you to do all that you do?
Okay, well, with writing songs, it was a sense of therapy. Instead of doing journals, I started writing songs. Um, Coming up as a teenager, we all have those difficulties where we start to go into the world and we start becoming our own. We have to learn how to act accordingly socially amongst our peers, in school and everything else. So I used songwriting as a form of therapy, and it allowed me to feelings, and I put it in a form of art. It allowed me to not only express my feelings, but have an outlet for anything that I was going through. And I used that tool to be able to speak about things that I had felt, my growth as a young lady. And then with that occurring, that's when I started singing more. I had a melody. My mother believed in me. She got me vocal lessons. And then my vocals got critiqued. Then it went from there to recording, allowing me to put on wax, as they put it in musical terminology, my lyrics and my feelings. And I was able to incorporate that into my music. And man, it just blossomed from there. And it was a beautiful thing. It really was a beautiful thing. And then I ventured off into writing my own songs and producing my albums. And I just kept going. That's all.
Well, Decisions is one of my favorite songs, and it's so deep.
Thank you.
What put you in a mind frame to make that song, which I love so much?
Thank you so much. Sometimes we put ourselves in circumstances where the heart can get in the way of reality. And a lot of times when we get into relationships with other people, um, no matter the gender, whether it be a man or a woman with a woman, a man with a man, no matter what, um, sometimes with the heart being fond or going, wander, and not being able to make vast decisions, I wanted to, orchestrate on how, sometimes we have to decide for them.
Yep.
And our actions can help decide and deliberate on where the relationship should go from there. And I wanted to express how we have to be accountable for our actions, not only in our decision making too, um, how we treat people and how we allow people to treat us. And I wanted to express that in this song. And I felt like, you know, with being a songwriter and a musician, it's all about what the producer make you feel too when you hear the song. And his music, big shouts out to Epic the Don. His music made me feel that, and it allowed me to express, where I'm like, hey, decisions, we both got to make them. And I was
Yep.
able to deliberate my recent relationship and incorporate it into that tune. And I was thankful because it ministered to people like yourself. I got that all the time. Girl, you speaking that truth. Oh yeah, I like that. I found myself in that same predicament the other day. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
I'm glad I was able to, minister and to speak about my own personal experiences to where it could resonate with other people in their lives as well.
And that's the whole point of your creativity. You wanted to make an impact. Even though you know it's something that you can relate to, you want the people who are listening or taking in this artistry to relate as well, which people do. And you're definitely on the right track with that for sure. Um, I can edit this stuff, the time in between, but I want to make sure I got the questions in that you wanted me to ask.
Okay.
Let's talk about other projects that you are a part of in detail. Which ones are meaningful to you?
Okay. Um, what was really the starting point with the music part, on the music aspect, was the past album, my third EP, Deep. Deep, I felt the transitioning from my, my spirituality, my transitioning to my growth as far as being a woman and understanding, um, sorry about that, understanding, you know, um, just life in general and having clarity. And I'm thankful. I really am. I'm thankful. That album meant a lot to me. It really did. I also was going through, of course, a relationship, a breakup as well. Um, and then I was redefining me. It was like self love, understanding who I was as a person. A lot of us, we get older and we like, oh, well, I know me, and
Yep.
then you get into certain situations where, the decision making that you made in that situation allows you to question yourself and be like, well, wait a minute, did I really know me? Because this occurred and this is how I reacted. Okay, I'm not mature enough yet. Okay,
Right.
I need to do this and need to do that to change the circumstances. And because of the situations that I was in, it allowed me to see that I needed to mature even more. Even now with this fourth EP, it's called Misplaced, by the way. Um,
Congratulations.
I've learned that even so, I still wasn't grown. But this right here, it shows my elevation. And you will hear it in my writing. You will hear it in my writing. You will hear it in the passion that I put forth into the recording. It'll speak for itself.
Yes. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited for it. I'm a huge fan. I really, really
Oh,
am. Let's
I appreciate that. I really do.
next question. Do you think it's some changes that are needed in the music industry?
I do believe that it's changes that's needed in the music industry. I just had this discussion with someone else the other day. Um, I understand they gotta go in order for a corporation to exist, they gotta meet the demand of people. And I understand that, people resonate more towards sex, money, and drugs and everything else. But I would hope that the music industry can go according to what's real, the reality part of it. You get what I'm saying? I understand what sells, but it's not what helps people. You get what I'm saying to you?
Right.
Like you got rap artists who talk about drugs and their pain and how they went through this and that, and it'll sell more rather opposed to a woman who's singing about Black History Month, understanding their the dynamics of history, being a mother. Every artist in the industry have their way of expressing themselves, their past, their history, or where they come from. I just feel like the music industry is geared more towards what sells rather than feeding the people's mind.
Mm.
You know, they're more gravitated more towards a woman being half naked rather opposed to a woman who or artist who's teaching a child how to love themselves. You'll see in the analytics in the sales, you'll see it, and it's sad. It's like, okay, so a
Mm.
woman sitting up here showing her tits on TV is going to get more money and more streams due to a woman sitting up here teaching a young lady how to be a woman. That's
Right.
backwards.
This don't make
Priorities is kind of
sense.
backwards.
That don't make
So
sense at all.
it really don't. It really don't, because the reality of it is that, I'm sorry to say this, that young lady cannot go out here and be dressed half naked and not expect to get raped or to have negative vibes or to get ridiculed and dissed on social media. I need you to teach that young lady what it is to be a young lady, because you have a lot of children that's growing up in broken homes, parents that are not raising kids. They don't even know themselves, let alone to be able to raise a child. That thing, all of that is important. I'm saying all of it is important. I'm not knocking nobody. I'm saying all of it is important.
Right.
But the priorities ain't right in the music industry. And I would just wish, but the music industry is built off of what? The demand of what fans want. And a lot of people don't understand that. The fans is what make the artists. So if you got a whole bunch of fans who's popping pills and they sitting up here drinking lean and they partying all the damn time, they don't want to hear that damn, excuse my language, but they don't want to hear that shit
They
about
don't want to
evolution.
hear about positivity and
Right. They don't want to hear
they
about
want to turn
evolution.
up. They want to
Feed,
turn
feeding
up.
the feeding the homeless, feeding the broken babies, or trying to sit up here. I'm putting the fist up from one hand to the other. Okay, they're
Ah,
they're
it's
not
true.
about evolution and building people, because people need to hear that. Yeah, there's a time and a place for partying. I mean, don't get me wrong. I got party songs. I got the song all night, but there's a time and a place for everything. You can't sit up there and be partying like that when you got an interview. You got to know how to interview, right?
Yep.
You can't sit up there and take that shit to church. You can't.
That's
Somebody
right.
need to hear about God. I mean, I'm just being honest with you. And even though I curse, use my language, but it's the truth.
Right.
There's a time and a place for everything. Like you said, you can't turn up all the time. And I think that the music industry needs to enforce equality throughout all artists, allowing all artists to be able to equally express themselves and not be structured. Well, listen, if you want to make any money, this is what you got to do. No, no, everybody is different. Everybody is different. No one is greater than the other.
That's right.
And
I love
to
the way
be
you said that.
right, and then to be honest with you though, half the people in the world don't even know what they want, let alone sit up here and dictate what's going to sell more than the other.
Right. Right. Talk to him, Endure. I know that's right. Oh my gosh. I love how you broke that down. I also want to ask you any plans for your children to get into the music industry or be entrepreneurs, follow any of the amazing paths that you have led through.
Yeah, yeah. My one daughter, Leandria, she's older. So my 15-year-old, she likes to sing. I'm always catching her singing around the house. I'm actually looking to write a song for her and her sister. My other daughter, she's
Oh,
13. She raps, so I'm going to be pushing for them and put them in the forefront so they could just get a touch of it. And if they like it, they like it. But right now, I do enforce that they get more into their studies because of this transitioning that they're doing. My 13-year-old going into high school now. My 15-year-old is in high school. It's her first year, so she's doing well. I want them to concentrate more on their studies rather than that. And then, as time progresses, of course, which it could be a month from now or 2 months from now, they will have their own single and they will put forth out their own music video and they can get a taste of the life that I had, but it'll be under mommy's supervision,
I love it.
um another thing as far as entrepreneurship, my daughter could paint. My oldest daughter, she could paint, and my other daughter, she wanted to venture off into having her own lip gloss line. So I've been encouraging her to do that, bought the supplies, and we studied on what it is that takes in order to build that brand and put it out there. They're also involved in sports, so I've been enforcing that. I'm playing a mother role, supportive, but also teaching them in the same breath, okay, entrepreneurship. So my youngest daughter want to be a basketball player. She looking forward to joining the team. And my 15-year-old, she inspired her coach to start a football tag team. My daughter could really play football very,
Wow,
very well.
that's
And
amazing.
because of that, this will be the first female football tag team in Western New York history. And they also, the coach was telling me that the football field stadium, they actually is sponsoring that sport network. So because on behalf of my daughter and her girlfriend and my other daughter, inspiring them to venture off into female football league, that's what resonated from it because they saw my daughters play and my goddaughter, and they was like, wow, women can actually play football. Oh yeah. And my kids
Yes,
the beast.
I
But
love it.
my youngest daughter know how to play football, but she's like, Mom, I like basketball more than anything. So, I'm here to support whatever their ideas is. So along the lines of that their future, their future and their recent activities that they're trying to venture off into, and I'm here to be supportive.
Wow. Well, keep being a great mom,
Thank you. I appreciate
businesswoman. You're following your dreams, and while being a mom is not easy. Being in the industry isn't easy, and being a parent isn't easy. And you intertwine those together is really not easy at all.
Right, right. So
Most of the
you can
time,
not understand but overstand that I have a lot of sleepless nights.
overstand. It's whew,
Right, but I can't complain about it. I keep God first. I just keep God first, and I do make prayer time. I do. I don't let none of my circumstances stop me from to keep pushing forward, and that's
mm,
what counts. We all. I encourage anybody to do it. We all gonna have our ups and downs. Everybody got situations.
yep.
It's just on how you perceive things and how you seek them to solve them. That's all it is. And if you pace yourself, you can get through it. You can.
That's right. If you pace yourself, you can get through it. And Dora, you was dropping knowledge and jewels today.
Thank you.
I wanna I want to end on some advice that you will have during these unprecedented times that we're in, known as the pandemic. Also, last year we had an
Mhm.
uproar for Black lives. A lot of people are discouraged. A lot of people don't have resources financially or, spiritually empowered or mentally empowered, but they, before COVID, maybe wanted to be an entrepreneur, maybe wanted to be a music artist or
Right.
a media professional, but they are scared maybe, or they don't have the connections. What would you say to them?
Um, as they put it in spirituality forms, religion and everything else, God will sit you down and you will sit still. In the time of sitting still, you have nothing but time, right? To concentrate, meditate, and think about your next move. Because of the circumstances that we are embarked on, this is the time to not get overwhelmed about what's going around about you, but to meditate on your next move. I will give advice to encourage people to take the time out to write out a plan and to execute it. Sit out and think about what it is that you want to do. Write out everything, whether it be via tablet, whatever helps you to be able to put down that vision. Research is a big thing on everything, though.
Yeah.
Everything. YouTube and Google is a major platform. You have people and take advantage of that. We are in the internet times. We are in the internet times. You could research about anything. Take take the time to take advantage of that. The time that you sitting down and you have an idea about something, trust and believe there is somebody on YouTube that got instructions on how to deliberate that out. I mean, I find about everything. They teaching you how to work cameras. They
Yeah.
teaching you how to paint. I have a painting that I did watercoloring on. I viewed that, watched that, and put my own vision out, and I made an amazing painting. Like you have a lot of the resources is in the internet, YouTube and Google. You have somebody to teach you how to work, even this very platform that we're using right now, Be Live.
Hmm.
That's the resources. So my advice would be write out your plan, research it, use the internet platforms of YouTube and Google. Take your time to see what it takes to seek that out, the resources you need. Then you buy your tools, whatever's needed in order to execute that plan out, and then you work your plan out. That's my advice.
That's right. That's right. Thank you so much for coming on. You are definitely such a one that I wanted to interview for Women's History Month. You have made an impact on me and so many. And I just
Thank you
am
so
so
much.
here. You're welcome. I'm so here to continue watching your journey excel and grow. And keep being awesome with your beautiful self, Queen. I salute you. I
Oh,
honor
thank
you. I
you.
respect you. Happy Women's History Month.
Oh, happy Women's History Month to you too. Blessings to you.
Thank you.
All right, you will.
You are so dope, Natalie. And I'm just playing with the different things
I
here.
see you.
I'm
You
like,
switching
yo,
up.
it's like, I'm like, this is so fun. I'm so glad that I tried this platform because
Right,
I'm
right.
like, I didn't have a clue. So I'm going to stop recording
Okay.
and